Well, well, well. It's been about 10 hours since the newest episode of Young Sheldon was officially released to the public. And it's been 10 hours, and man, oh man, are the emotions still raw? Are my heart still broken? And the fact that last night was one of the more explosive episodes, not only in the entire series of Young Sheldon, but possibly in the entirety of TV comedy series of all time. Welcome everybody to another episode of Waking Up on the 6th. Hope all of you guys are having a wonderful morning. I got my coffee, had a nice bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich from Subway here at the Oakland International Airport. It's another beautiful day. It's supposed to get up to, I think, 87 degrees today. So right now it's pretty chilly, but it should be getting warmer as the day progresses. But welcome into Wake It Up on the 6th, here, your IM6 Network morning show. And I want to just talk about the newest episode of Young Sheldon because and I'm pretty sure many other people did not expect the loop that we were thrown in for last night. I don't want to spoil anything, but sadly, this is going to be an episode that gives out spoiler alerts. So if you haven't watched the newest episode of Young Sheldon, I recommend that you immediately turn off this video and go watch the show because that's how epic and exhilarating and just heart pounding that episode was last night. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and turn it off. Turn this show off and go watch that the two episodes that aired last night. It was a two-episode night last night. Young Sheldon now has only two episodes left, which will air next week. It will be aired back to back, the series finale. Um, and I think a lot of tears are going to be shed, definitely, because I've really grown to love this show. I have really, really admired the writing in this show. I have really admired the plots, the semi plots, the main plots as well. Really admired all the characters, all the actors that have played the roles of their characters. Last night was tough because I've really, really loved Young Sheldon, and yeah, we all know that Young Sheldon's dad is going to pass away at some point in this series, right? It was a foregone conclusion because it was said in the Big Bang Theory by older Sheldon that he lost his father at the age of 14. And well, this is the last season of Young Sheldon, and this is when he's 14 years old, and his father was going to pass away this season. So it was a foregone conclusion. It was going to happen. Everybody knew it was coming. But what happened last night could not prepare you for what happened because what happened last night was we got the death of George Cooper, and it aired in the final moments of the last episode that aired last night, episode number 12. Everything was happy, you didn't expect it, and then boom, George Cooper passes away because of a heart attack. And you know my biggest takeaway is number one, it's definitely great writing by Chuck Lorre and his staff. I mean, you never expected it, and all of a sudden they drop the bomb on you. Sadly, I would have loved to see a lot more of like the whole incident involving George. I know they said that they wanted it to happen off screen, but I wanted to see George at work, George clutching his chest, George falling to the ground, and then paramedics coming and him going to the hospital and seeing, I wanted Mary's reaction. I wanted to honestly to play out on screen. I think that would have been better. I just think like, everybody like, yeah, it was great writing. I'll give them that. But for me, I would have rather loved to see them, um, happen on screen rather than off screen. I think that last night was, I mean, it's kind of tough because obviously a lot of kids watch this show, so you don't want to show death. But a lot of adults watch this show, and a lot of us understand the circumstances that are going into George's death. So I really wish that they would have played it out on screen. But given the situation, given everything that happened, given the what happened last night, I still would have liked to see a little bit more lead into his death. I really do, because for that, for Wayne and the other guy, the other gentleman to show up at their door and just to shock them with the news when they were all getting ready to take a family photo. It's really sad. Obviously, it does capture the moment well, but um, I would have liked to see it a little bit more on screen. In regards to his death, for the Coopers, I mean, you could see um Missy with her reaction, like, "Oh, is he gonna be all right? Is he gonna be? He's gonna be all right, right?" And then you could just tell Mary, Meemaw, and Missy realizing the faces of Wayne and the other gentleman that this was something, because I know George had suffered heart attacks in the past, but they realized that this was more than just a mild heart attack, that he might have been a goner. And sure enough, he was a goner. And it's definitely very, very sad. You know, Mary, we all know what happens from Big Bang, that she goes into this grief stricken um, phase of her life where she just can't even do anything. Georgie's got to take care of the family, but just to see everything that happened, Missy, like, George offered her a ride to school. She declined it. She didn't want to take the bus, and you could just tell the regret on her face. Meemaw, you could tell the regret after hearing the news. I mean, I was very shocked that Meemaw was actually very sad, because I never really thought Meemaw liked George. But it just goes to show you that, like, yeah, you could troll someone for a while, and you could just, have this pretendness about, that you don't like them to their face, but you actually like them in real life. And then when the news hits, it's like, shoot, man, wow, he's actually gone, and you can't tell the person to their face that you actually love them, and it just really sucks. And for Mary, obviously, she had patched up her relationship with her husband, and they were going great. And you know, her just the shock in the beginning, and then the sadness. Obviously, I thought Mary would have cried a little bit more than she did, and like basically fainted on the ground hearing the news, because I know if I had a wife and shockingly it was like, hey, where's my wife? Oh, she's passed away. I honestly would faint. Honestly, like that would be my reaction. But yeah, just a really heartbreaking scene happening in the final um couple moments of that last episode. Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens now in the funerals episode next week, and then the finale episode after that, and how they wrap that show up. But definitely that it leaves the show on a really dark note, on a really sad note. Feel bad, Sheldon. Just standing up, and then all of a sudden realizing, oh crap, his father's gone, dropping to the chair. He didn't cry or anything. He was just processing. I mean, that's typical Sheldon, so I'm not surprised. I want to see what Georgie's reaction is, what Mandy's reaction is, the raw reaction. I really want to see that. But yeah, I mean, it really sucks that happened. I mean, Lance Barber played an outstanding role in his character. George, we realized that he wasn't exactly the toxic father that Sheldon made him out to be. Um, and so I think, like, just to recap everything, I think the overall lesson, because you can learn lessons from every TV show you watch. The overall lesson from this is hug your family. Hug your family, cherish family time. Um, Tell your family that you genuinely love them, because you don't know, life is short, and one moment they can be standing out here, the next moment they'll be dropped dead. So, yeah, definitely shocking. And now we'll see what happens to the Coopers. But I've never cried on a TV show. I never cry when I watch TV, right? I never cry when I watch TV. I never cry when I watch a movie, except Toy Story 3. I cried last night. Like, I shed tears. Like, that was very unexpected. It was very heartbreaking, and it was extremely, extremely emotional. And wow, I can't get over what we witnessed last night, and yeah, definitely very, 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 very heartbreaking. Still, even about 12 hours after the episode was released, but yeah, rest in peace, George Cooper. Just a crazy ending to Young Sheldon. Knew it was coming, but you can't prepare for moments like this. So, um, rest in peace, George, and appreciate all you guys for tuning in and cherish your family, cherish your loved ones, hug them close. Um, I love Young Sheldon. Can't believe it's ending, and can't believe that George is dead. It's crazy. I'm about to shed tears now just even thinking about it and talking about it. But yeah, it's just definitely very very sad, very upsetting. Um, yeah, let me end this before I start crying.